Hello everyone, here is a classic desktop for AltLinux. For the first time in 2000, probably at the end of 2008 somewhere, or in 2000, the beginning of 2009, I got acquainted with the Linux versions 4, 1 and 1, so there was CD4, that is, CD3 and 5.10, in front of you the other. This is a continuation of the CD, but in fact it's the same thing. During some transformations, the interface has not changed much. Here, clunker, in the form of a file manager. It can also be our browser. We are looking at the version 3, 5, 10, that is, it has not changed. The same file manager. 2010 year is written. Let's look at Trinity. Trinity version 3 and 5, 13 and 2. That is, CD3 ended at 3 and 5.10, but after that, a couple of versions were made after that. At this stage, this is a stable version of TDE. I do not observe any special differences from the 400. We look at what we have included in the delivery. Graphics. The adults module. I don't know what it is, and whether it is necessary here. Well, apparently the one who collected. Apparently he needs. I don't know what it is. Honestly, I'm sorry noob. I don't know. Come on, wrap it up, hey. It is being completed. Complete. So, the boiler model. Well, what kind of cauldron is it already? Well, some kind of special software. Apparently it is necessary for something. And since it was delivered here, it means that this distribution was used somewhere. This is our tank with an incomprehensible icon. I hope it's not scary. It's just a little bang. That's the way it is. Fuck it. Let it load for now. So, screenshot creation, motion views, VF Classic. So, if I'm not mistaken, and since I work at a mini chai plant, we have a steam boiler program in front of us, if I'm not mistaken. That's right. That is, you can imagine what it's all come to. It means that somewhere at some thermal power plant, it has already been used. It's really cool to watch this. I have 2000 Windows computers at work, and similar software, where the fan turns, shows where the air enters. For example, air enters somewhere here. This is shown here. Drains and a furnace are apparently shown. I do not know what type of boiler it is. Well, that's cool. Well done. Here we have steam, but since this case is not connected to anything, we turn this thing off. Let's see the version of the program. I'm interested. Okay, I won't watch it all. We'll close this program. It's not attached to any boiler. There's no point from it. Well, we have such an image viewer. Let's see what they changed in it, and whether they changed it at all. Well, it says CD 2002 years. That is, this is the last change, but it says 3 and 5.13 too. Means what? So they didn't just change the copyright. The project already exists. I've been there for a long time, probably a little later than me, but if they hadn't done anything, the project would have already stalled, but it didn't. Well done. So well, we don't got anything special in the schedule here. This is something to do with the configuration. Under the root, you can go to the Holo Manager. The processor shows that the configuration, the name, everything is displayed correctly. So, what did I like when I was 3, as opposed to the 4? Because CD3 works faster than X, and whoever tells me something is not true, but they will not convince me. CD3 is much faster and better than X versus works, not to mention num2. D3 is stable. Let someone tell me that it's too overloaded or something else. Well, I do not know. I really like CD3. Therefore, here is such a distribution. I do not know. Maybe even try and go back to TDE again. In fact, this is a modern distribution with the same CD3, despite the fact that buggies are still being fixed here. Everything is patching up wonderfully. So, the archiver, what's new in it? There's something here too. Apparently something was patched up, maybe. He's working. Butter, twisted keyboard layout. By the way, the teacher works well, so the calculator is such a simple calculator to switch desktops, that is, help files, etc. Let's see. I would classify this shell as a turbo-stable, super-stable shell. Well, something like num2 and 32 or 2 and 30. We watched multimedia, Caffeine My Dear, which was still in version 4.1.1. I'll take it back. I think it will be fine to work normally here. Logster 1.4 seems to be yes. Everyone loved this record player very much. You can't imagine how much he was loved. There is, for example, Clementine. This is considered as a fork of the same brand. He is still considered one of the most stable and one of the best audio players, which was only for Linux and Unix-like systems in general. Here, version 1.4.10. The continuation of it is probably considered Clementine, because the next lobster, which went to CD4, is a completely different story. By the way, I have, so I don't like him very much anymore. So, this is a mixer. We have settings, a menu editor, a synaptic. By the way, how do we display the DX here? In a simple way. In principle, you can also configure it to display better. So, everything is clear with the settings. Education, a bunch of educational software that, well, I don't know. Office, TDE viewing, no Office package was stuffed at all. You can easily put Libre here. So, we have two browsers on the network. Reading news feeds. Browser, well, I'll show you the Farfetch. The point is to show me, I'll show you the Conquer, the one that was once. He then remained the same 3, 5, 10. Here, it is executed as a browser, a little with. You see, everything is a little godly, because the brother has grown old, although we have stretched it more or less. Yet, and well, it is unsuitable. I think that let it be in a better file manager. So, all this is clear. We have a system here. Let's look at the Cadet. The Cadet is already very old, the one that was under 3. They say that the problems of launching software have already been solved by CD4. I haven't tried it yet. It seems that it will even be translated into this shell on QD4. I don't know how much this is needed at all. The good old Kareni terminal. Everything is simple, everything is fast. I don't understand at all why something should be overloaded very much. Well, I understand the duties, but it would be good to make the distribution stable, fast, compatible. So no, they made 500 different distributions, each with every shell, each with every bug. Here, there are such distributions that I feel very warmly about. I think they're like this, you know. That's how you can say they are going to a bright, such a peculiar future. This is Lubuntu. This is this distribution that I launched on TDE with CD3. Well, I can probably say the same about the Riot, although they have a hard job to do with the world, with Unity. I can't imagine what will happen to Unity 8 if it is as mobile as people run it in emulators, and I will have to simply leave. Here, in general, I thought of switching to a similar distribution with some kind of TDE, or because I'm paying less and less attention to these all sorts of whistles alterations, because more and more often, I need either a video editor in a browser, or some kind of graphic editor, and I think that, in order to use computers as a home, this shell will not be enough. Skype and will work fine here. Yes, everything is basically fine to start. I don't see the point in using Unity, giving it half a gigabyte of memory. Many applications just eat up a lot of memory, so I'm still considering an alternative. I'll show you more settings here, since there is no Plasma here yet. Plasma will appear only in CD4. There are a lot of different settings here, a lot. Not like that. We'll put something so classic back for sure, if these wallpapers are still preserved. Well, like this. The thing, it's a classic, and something else, right? We put this one. Settings, CD Control Center. So the appearance of the theme. There are still a lot of themes and icons on CD Lock. You can put such a theme here. It will be a little more beautiful. That is, here is such a podkita under the classic. You can put the Tango as versions 4, 1 and 1. This will already be closer to the classic from the Blade 4 and 1 for the nostalgic. I will do so. So, we will put the theme manager in standard classical ceramics because all the icons will be reset. So yes, the colors are already standard. Here we have a system, so here we have the most classic CD3 with a design theme. More precisely, this is the coloring, this is how they look. Let's put this on. Here is such a desktop. Icons are managed just the same as probably Windows. You know, this shell was a competitor of Windows SP and was used at a time when Windows SP was popular. So let's see, we'll set up more fonts. We have Drawing Sans, probably the most pleasant font by WordTalk. So, we have a space, that we have a machine. We do not change it. Sans. We put a play. Well, it's much nicer than shifts, right? The only thing that is unpleasant is that they are somehow crippled like this. So, leave in setup, Wi-Fi settings are here with us. Well, these menus began to be displayed more pleasantly somehow. Let's say caffeine. Let's see how it looks with these fonts. Well, it's a completely different matter. So, we'll take a look at the topic of Windows. You can see the behavior of Windows action, like plastic, ceramic, so we will not change the windows here any further. All people are as they are. I think I've already shown you everything you need. Nostalgia. Nostalgia is dishonest. Strong. My hands are itching to demolish the 14th Riot. Just put a 64-bit distribution here. Decorate it so beautifully that it doesn't look so old-fashioned. And honestly, I'll tell you that you can decorate it no worse than a riot. At the same time, resource consumption will be minimal. Thank you for your attention.